Hi, it's Louise Tanner-Stokes from the Anti-Dieting Revolution. And in this week's blog, I wanted to talk about why dieting is making it worse for you and why it's time to just ditch all of that bullshit, just break free from the whole yo-yo dieting cycle once and for all. So this is for you if you just find you can't stick to that diet and you keep going back to your old habits, piling all the weight back on again, plus a little bit more each time. Or maybe you're not even trying to follow some kind of diet plan, but you're still struggling to stick to making changes. And you just keep finding that you're getting bigger with every time you try and eat better. You're bigger than when you first started, and you're building this real kind of love-hate relationship with food, where you love it but you hate it because you just associate it with gaining weight and not being fit, and you just feel rubbish about your food and yourself. So first of all, you're probably trying to change too much. Okay, this is the problem I see over and over again when people talk about dieting, slimming, going on a diet, going to slimming clubs, is they try to change too much. Okay, they follow some kind of strict plan, or they get given lists of rules that they need to follow, and there's just too much for them to do. Maybe they've been told loads of foods that they have to eat, or you're being told that there's loads of foods that you're not allowed to eat, and what you're doing is just too different from your normal eating habits. Okay, it's too much. If you're trying to change too much, it won't last very long. It won't be sustainable. You're not going to be able to keep it going, because we're creatures of habit. We like to do the same thing. We like to do what's easy and comfortable. And like I said, even if you're not following some kind of diet plan, you might be trying to change too many tweaks in one go. You might be trying to do too much, and you're making it too difficult for yourself. And it really takes time and effort to build new habits. And when we try and do too much, we get overwhelmed and disheartened, and we give up. So really just try and this is why I say, if you're try and tweak your normal eating habits, but just try and start with one or two things to start off with. Take it one step at a time, build it up gradually. So the next reason why dieting is making it worse for you is, so I see so many people aiming for fast weight loss, and all the diets and all the slimming clubs really focus on the weight, the number on the scales, trying to lose weight. It's all about the weight loss. And they applaud you for losing 5 pounds in 1 week. And it's just not sustainable. The body really likes to stay nice and stable. It likes to stay the same. When you lose weight too fast, it's usually because you're doing something again too drastic, too restrictive. When you're restricting yourself too much, you're really limiting your energy intake, your fuel intake. You're maybe cutting out whole food groups, cutting out loads of food that you love. You're more likely, when you do that, you're more likely to have cravings. And if you're not getting a balance because you're not giving your body what it needs, again, you're more likely to have cravings, and you're more likely to end up binging, okay, and eating too much. So when you have the cravings, and you're not eating enough, your body, it kind of thinks that there's a famine on. It thinks that there's a famine, and it wants to get you to find easy energy, okay? And it's usually the fatty, sugary foods that our bodies want when we think that we need to, when we need to get that quick fix energy. And then when you've kind of given up on trying to make all those changes, trying to follow that strict plan, the body thinks, oh, phew, what a relief, the famine's over. It's time to replace all that weight that you've lost, and get ready for when the next famine might come along, okay? And the body can get pretty efficient at doing this. And this is why you can end up getting bigger each time. because you put all the weight back on again, plus a bit more, because your body's thinking that it's doing the right thing, because it doesn't want to lose the weight. It doesn't want to lose the weight that fast either. So again, this is why I say aim to focus on building the habits. Focus on building healthy habits rather than focusing on the results. They will follow, I promise. If you focus on building healthy habits, making changes that are sustainable, the results will follow eventually. The next thing then, which leads me nicely on to the next thing actually, is what I see often is people, they're not aiming to change for life, okay? They're aiming to just make the changes to get to their target weight. So they think, I'll just follow this diet plan, I'll just keep going to this slimming club until I get to my target weight, and then I can stop. And the thing is, weight management doesn't work like that. It all comes back to your daily habits. It's your daily habits, how you're eating, how you're exercising in the long term, day to day, that has an impact on where your weight is and your fitness level and your general health. Okay, whatever you do to lose weight, if that's what your goal is, or maybe it's about eating better or getting fitter, whatever you do to get there, you need to do it forever, okay, if you want the results to last forever. So it's about recognizing that you need to be ready to change forever. And again, it comes back to taking it one step at a time, being prepared for long-term effort, recognizing that having a little bit of a relapse, bit of a slip up is normal, and that's just a normal part of changing behavior. Recognizing it takes practice. If you want to build new habits, it takes practice, patience, and perseverance to build those new habits. Okay, and again, what I always say is focus on the habits, not the results. And what can help you with this is learning to build your self-motivation. That's something that I teach my one-to-one clients. It's something that you can learn about on my No More Diets course, but that really does make a difference. Okay, and the last reason why dieting makes it worse for you then is there's just too much focus on food being good or bad. Okay, splitting food into good or bad is just it doesn't help you. You're more likely to build an unhealthy relationship with food, where you see yourself as good or bad depending on how you've eaten. And this kind of dieting mentality, it leads to more cravings, it leads to more binges, because if you're looking at food as being bad or naughty, you label it as bad or naughty, you're often banning it. You're saying you're not allowed to eat that. And it's usually, let's face it, it's usually the food that you love. So if you tell yourself you're not allowed it, you want it more, don't you? And then when you have it, you feel great, but it's short term. Then you also feel guilty, and then you see yourself as bad. You've failed. You might as well give up. Might as well give up trying to change. You might as well keep eating, and then you feel even more guilty, and then you get stuck in that guilt binge cycle, and that's not a happy place to be in, is it? And even if you're labeling food as good, that can also lead to overeating, because when you label food as good or healthy, sometimes you can see that as unlimited. So you think you can eat as much as you like, and then you can end up overeating that way, rather than learning to follow your appetite, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're satisfied, and focus on having well-balanced meals. Okay. So lots of reasons why dieting is making it worse, and it is time to ditch all this dieting bullshit, because it's not helping you, it's making it worse. And what I always say is forget all the diets and just tweak your habits instead. And if you're not sure where to start, you're not sure what you need to change or how to get back to eating normally again, check out my free guide to healthy eating. So it's I'll share with you my super simple hack to help you put together balanced meals to make it easier for yourself. And if you focus on doing that at every individual meal, every snack, the rest all just slots into place. Super simple, nice and easy, and that's what we like. So yeah, I will link it in the comments in the blog, and it's time to ditch dieting forever, because you absolutely deserve better. Take care, and I'll see you soon.